On August 12th, the FDA quietly updated a warning that most people have never heard of. 3 more products were added to a growing list, a list that now includes more than 20 different weight loss supplements sold on Amazon, Etsy, and independent websites. What these products have in common isn't a shared brand or a shared manufacturer. It's what's actually inside the capsule, not what's on the label. What's in the capsule? The label says Tejocote root, sometimes written as Crataegus mexicana, raíz de Tejocote, or Mexican hawthorn. Traditional remedy sold online with promises of quick, effortless weight loss. But when the FDA tested these products in a lab again and again, they found something else entirely. Yellow oleander, a poisonous plant native to Mexico and Central America. Not a contaminant, not a trace amount. A substitution, the entire product is yellow oleander, sold under a different plant's name. This isn't a new discovery, but it is an active, worsening one. The story starts in September 2023, when the CDC published a report tracing back to a single case, a 23-month-old child in New Jersey who got into her mother's weight loss supplement. The child ended up in the emergency room with a slowed heart rate and dangerously low blood pressure, symptoms that didn't match what was on the bottle's label at all. Doctors suspected cardiac glycoside poisoning, the kind you'd expect from a heart medication overdose, not a natural weight loss pill. They treated her with a digoxin antidote. She recovered, but the investigation that followed found something the FDA is still dealing with 3 years later. When researchers tested 10 products labeled as Tejocote root, 9 of them were actually yellow oleander. Here's what makes yellow oleander dangerous. Every part of the plant, including the leaves, the seeds, and the sap, contains cardiac glycosides, compounds that interfere directly with heart rhythm. The FDA's own language is direct about this. Exposure can cause neurologic, gastrointestinal, and cardiovascular effects that may be severe or even fatal. We're talking about vomiting, irregular heartbeat, seizures, and in the most serious cases, cardiac arrest. This is not a supplement with a mild side effect profile that got flagged for a labeling technicality. This is a plant that can stop your heart, sold to people who think they're taking a natural digestive aid. And the scope keeps expanding. What started as a warning about Tejocote root products has grown to include items marketed as Brazil seed, and the FDA has found some products laced with additional hidden pharmaceutical ingredients on top of the yellow oleander. 2 products added to the list this month, D Magic Plus and B Magi, didn't just test positive for yellow oleander. One also contained diclofenac, a prescription-strength anti-inflammatory drug not listed anywhere on the label. The other contained phenolphthalein, a compound removed from over-the-counter laxatives decades ago specifically because of cancer risk. These aren't supplements cutting corners. These are products built entirely on concealment, stacked with undisclosed risk on top of undisclosed risk. So why does this keep happening, and why can't the FDA just make it stop? Because of how these products are sold. Most of what's on the FDA's list moved through third-party marketplace listings, Amazon, Etsy, and independent Spanish-language wellness sites where a seller can list a product, get flagged, and either quietly relist under a new name or simply ignore the FDA's outreach entirely. Look at the FDA's own tracking language on product after product. Firm has not responded to calls or emails. FDA unable to contact firm, declined to recall, removed listings. The agency can publish a warning. It can pressure platforms to pull listings. What it largely cannot do, quickly, is force a company that won't answer the phone to stop selling a product that's already shipped to thousands of homes. If you or someone in your household has ever purchased a supplement marketed as Tejocote root, raíz de Tejocote, Mexican hawthorn, or Brazil seed, especially from Amazon, Etsy, or an independent website rather than a pharmacy, The FDA's guidance is direct. Stop using it, dispose of it, and contact a healthcare provider immediately, even if you haven't taken it recently. If you or someone in your care has symptoms like an irregular heartbeat, vomiting, or dizziness after taking one of these products, that's a call to 911 or your local poison control center, not a wait-and-see situation. This is the story underneath the story, an unregulated corner of the supplement market where the product inside the bottle can be a completely different, potentially lethal substance than what's printed on the label, and where an investigation that began after one poisoned toddler in 2022 is, 4 years later, still finding new products, still growing, and still not resolved. If this kind of investigation matters to you, hit that like button so more people see it, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Stay safe and stay tuned, because these stories only get told if enough of us are paying attention.